Welcome to the Pin My Setup Highlights for episode number 210. The first setup was submitted by Catherine. Clean, to the point, you know, theme's not over the top. It's not thrown into your face, and that's where some points were lost because I do think theme can be worked on. But everything else, it literally 99998. Usability's pretty good. Yeah, like you might say the microphone's in the way. What do you do there? Well, I would assume the microphone's moved when in use and so on and so forth. Yeah, the laptop being where it is, I don't think it's a problem. I think it makes it so it's on the go, and when she's sitting at her desk, it's perfect. I think that right side of the setup definitely needs to be utilized a little bit better. You have this open table, which if you were to build a computer over time would be a perfect spot for it. But it's a lot of empty space, and maybe like a canvas poster or something of like a snowy mountain, or maybe even you going down a mountain you have a photo of, something to that extent would just kind of help fill in that space and make it look really, really nice. Catherine scored an 88. The next setup was submitted by Lewis. You did a great job following through with the color theme. But here's the thing. Have we ever seen a DX Racer desk before? Like, I know they exist, but have we seen it on Pin My Setup?
I don't think so.
Because if you go to the next photo, obviously the branding's right there. I'm not a huge fan of these desks. You could get something a little bit nicer for probably cheaper. So really the main thing here is he's missing out on a little bit of accessories. So a place to put the headset that's not on his monitor. Speakers, things like that. Some LEDs to really add some mood.
We do red LEDs. I feel like that'd be just too much
no.
red.
I would get like a white or something.
Okay.
Just something that kind of like, you know,
yeah.
Just.
I just feel like it's a lot of red. Like, I understand you love red and all that, but I feel like it's just overwhelming.
He loves blood, man.
I just wish maybe the walls were a different color, because then I kind of offset it and make
like
it
a gray, and then like go really hard on the red with everything else.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But you know, I think it's fine.
Lewis scored an 80. The next setup was submitted by Cameron. The dude is 13, yet he's got Hillary for prison and plus a Trump sign. So I love at 13 he's like, yeah, getting into politics.
I just love at 13 he has more stuff than both of us combined.
I mean, unless this dude is running servers for like Google or something, I'm not really understanding the full usability aspect of all of this. The desk is great in the sense that it can house a lot, but I do think you still overdid it. For instance, you have the headphones on the right side in front of the Xbox, so why not just put it on top of the Xbox at that point? You know, you can't.
He's got a helicopter there.
Oh, well, throw the helicopter out. Why isn't this all the way up against the wall in the corner? And then that way you put the shelf on the opposite side, which it actually matches that laptop desk piece. The walls, I think there's a lot more you can do with it.
I feel like you got too excited with all the stuff they got. I'm pretty sure some of that stuff has to be hand-me-downs. There's no way that, you know, he had all this stuff.
Or his parents are like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But I feel like he just got too excited. He's like, oh my God, I got all this stuff. I'm going to have to use it all.
Yeah. Cameron scored a 58. The next setup was submitted by David. We asked him, and I actually jumped in the email chain at one point. I was like, we need further back photos. He's like, I'm in a hallway. I'm like, no, you ain't, homie. He says that he can't get further back photos. So guess what? The setup actually got not a great score because there are a lot of problems with it. The cable management's not good. You know, the filters you put on it, you make it black and white, you put all this stuff on it so that it kind of confuses us. It would have looked a lot better. This setup would probably have gotten more points if it was a further back, straight on, well-lit pick. David scored a 66. The next setup was submitted by Mark. There's a lot on the wall. For me, there's a little too much because it's also not lined up at all. Pretty straightforward. I mean, the cable management's not 10 out of 10, obviously coming out of the TV, going into the bottom cable management box. There are ways to make that look a little bit more pretty, but for the most part, you have improved on your cables, which is good. And then also, you know, yeah, the speakers are just barely fitting on, but I think you did a fine job with it. I think the monitors itself, though, can go angled in a little bit more, but I wouldn't like go crazy about fixing that. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward setup. Mark scored an 80. The next setup was submitted by Rise. I think it's the easy one to fix. He likes Xbox and PC gaming. Except unless you're laying on the bed when playing the Xbox, that's not comfortable. You need an actual entertainment setup. The actual setup itself, very straightforward. I mean, speakers, monitor. It's an okay setup. The theme's not like crazy obvious. It's kind of confusing, actually. Rise scored a 70. The next setup was submitted by Kai. Now, you don't want to put your PC on the floor. That's fine. It's a small BitPhoenix case. Don't really get the coloring because it doesn't, like, normally you buy a case of that color because your whole setup has that same color flowing through it. But in here, it's kind of like an eyesore to me more than anything. But having the PC in that spot isn't ideal. It's too close to the speaker. It makes it look more cramped than it has to be, because where your flight sim sticks and all that are, your PC could go.
No, I actually like the canvas art and all that. It's very, very different. You don't usually see that kind of stuff.
Very
I just wish
random.
it was the one wasn't covered by the stuff on the shelf. Like, I feel like the shelf should even be there. Yeah, you either get rid of the canvas poster or get rid of the shelf.
Guys scored an 80. The next setup was submitted by Paul. This is another setup that's got a lot of cool posters, a lot of cool theme. A few of them, and this is me just being a dick, like they don't line up perfectly and it like triggers me. Like the main problem that we have here is your cable management. So no attempt. Terrible score. Fix that. If you fix that, that would have put so many more points to your setup. Definitely recommend figuring that out. Out of sight, out of mind. So, okay, you know, a few things here and there that can go, and we'll overall help. Paul scored a 74. The next setup was submitted by Yanni. This was his setup when he was on episode 97, and instead of, you know, just improving his setup, he decided to take worse photos. So here we go. It's just they're darker. I kind of wanted to see what was going on the left side there. I wanted to see what was going on the right side. I just wanted to get a far back photo because a lot of this is unanswered. I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's, they're two different
better.
setups. What?
It's definitely better.
Really?
He's got a better PC, better speakers.
Yeah, but those are...
Doesn't have speakers.
But yeah, well, yeah, he got rid of the speakers, which I think he said that those sounded great. And I said, why not just plasti dip the plastic? It works. Cool, he got the dock. Cool, you know, again, the monitor cable's easy to fix. Yanni scored a 78. The final setup of the day was submitted by Pato. I like it so much, but then there's so many things that I'm just like, God damn it. The setup itself is very simple, very meh. Accessories for the controller, have a little spot to put it. That'd be really nice. I like that you put the headphones underneath. Good job. But if you look above the setup, there's nothing. So that's why he did say he was going to get it, but we're not going to give you points for something you're probably going to do. I'm just like, why is the PC over there?
White on white, it's not the best, especially if you don't have much color. Yeah, the blue is kind of whitish, so I don't think it really works. Maybe change your LED colors to like red.
Pato scored a 76. Catherine walked away with first place with an 88. Thanks for watching the Pimp My Setup highlights for episode number 210.